Alright class, here we are in Rhythm Counting Level 4. Same rules apply. Every measure starts with 1. This is an eighth note. So whatever comes next is going to be called and, because this is only half of a beat. So we're going to label the next note and. Just like that. Now this quarter note here takes up two eighth notes. It's the second half of beat 1 and the first half of beat 2, but beat 2 is not done with this quarter note. So this is the second half of beat 2. We call that and also. Beat 2 is the second part of this quarter note here. 1 and. Now beat 2 is done, so this is labeled 3 and this is labeled 4. 1 and 3, 4. Again, start on 1. This becomes and. This becomes the and of 2 for the same rule that we covered in the first measure. This becomes 3, and of course these are eighth notes, so that would be 3 and 4. Now we have eighth notes that are directly on the beat. Eighth notes that are on the beat need to be recognized differently than eighth notes that are off the beat. This is 1. After this is the and. Let's see if I can get this to line up properly. Because it's a rest, you have to put parentheses around it. That'll do. This becomes beat 2 because we've used 1 and. As if this were two eighth notes here, it takes up the entire first beat. This will end up being also the and of 2. Continue on, and this becomes 3 and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, rest, 2, rest, 3, and 4. Every measure starts with 1. This is a quarter note, so we get to move on to beat 2, just like we had over here. This becomes 2 and. This becomes 3 and. And of course beat 3 is done, so this is 4. The rules continue down here. 1 and. This is an eighth rest, and it starts on beat 2. Because beat 1 is done with these two eighth notes. This is only an eighth rest and only takes up half the beat. So this becomes the and of 2. Now beat 2 is done. 3, 4. 1, 2. This eighth rest is the beginning of beat 3, but not all of beat 3. That's the second half of beat 3. Now beat 3 is done, so we get to call that 4. Beat 1. This can be a little tricky for some people. This is a quarter note, and it takes up all of beat 1. Here, this is the beginning of beat 2, but not all of beat 2. This becomes the and of 2, the second half of beat 2. So it ends up being similar to what we had over here, but instead of two eighth notes on beat 1, we have a quarter note on beat 1. And then we finish the measure with 3, 4. And finally, measure 8 is a lot like measure 1 with 1 and 3. Instead of two quarter notes in measure 1, we have a half note here. 1 and 3.